Hi all, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Eating Out in Vegas. Now, I will apologize if the video quality digresses a little bit. One of my new YouTube friends, going to do a shout out to the other me, had suggested a new editing program for me. So until I'm able to kind of get through all the tutorials and stuff, it may be a little rough while I'm using this new program. So I do apologize. Not quite sure if I'll be able to figure out the intro and the exit and all of that, but I should be able to at least get the video recorded and not have any dead air time while the pictures are showing. So that'll at least be one improvement on one end, but we'll see. Like I said, thank goodness the program has tutorials, so it's just going to take me a bit to get through them. Anyhow, so this week we went on another little adventure. We initially were trying to focus on featuring just an Italian restaurant. Since I'd done so many pizzerias, I wanted to focus on just Italian food. So by all means, if anybody has any suggestions out there of an Italian restaurant that you've been to before that you'd like to see featured, or if there's one you've heard of that you want somebody else to be the guinea pig first, then please let me know so that I can hopefully feature it next week or the week after. And yeah, so this week it had us in a little bit of a dilemma because the restaurant that I did find ended up being closed permanently. So that had us looking for another place to eat, spur of the moment. We were out in Old Henderson, so we looked online, found a little Italian restaurant that was over in Lake Las Vegas. I figured, well, we hadn't been to Lake Las Vegas, so that would probably be a good thing. Pricing was, according to online, was supposed to be anywhere from $8 to $20, with the highest thing being a veal meal for $20. So we headed down there, wandered around, found the place, and the menu, the lowest price, was actually about $24. So we decided against that, and on the way out there, we had passed a place called Rusty Putter. So the place that we're featuring this week is Rusty Putter. It is a bar. It's located on 891 DeMarco Drive, and it's off of Lake Mead Boulevard, again, in the Old Henderson area. I've mentioned before that checking out reviews is not my thing before I go to a restaurant. I don't want to be influenced one way or another, so I don't look at the reviews. My daughter, on the other hand, likes to know what she's getting into before she goes to a place, so she does like to look at the reviews. Now, when we got in there, places, okay, seemed clean. Some of the upholstery on the bar stools and whatnot seemed a little bit run down, looked like they could have been replaced, but nothing, no deal breakers, nothing major. It does appear that it can accommodate families, as the gaming portion of things is up at the bar, and then they do have booze and tables and whatnot away from that area, and they have a band or a stage area for bands. And we sat down. The waitress was extremely nice, pleasant, got our drink order right away, and then she brought us out a little dish of popcorn. I thought, nice touch. The only thing that kind of put me off a little bit was that she says, oh, well, if you need more, just help yourself. But I don't have a food handling license, so that's probably not a very good suggestion to tell your patrons to help themselves when other people are going to be eating from this. So hopefully maybe they're watching this and they, decide to kind of take that into effect, that maybe that might not be the best thing to suggest to people. So, moving on, we ordered nachos for our appetizer, and a couple of things here. The waitress had asked us if we would like some sour cream. We told her that'd be great. She went to get the sour cream. She come back, says that she didn't have any sour cream, and expressed her, frustration with the fact that she wishes they would tell her about this stuff so it doesn't make her look stupid. Okay. Then she asked us if we would like some guacamole. I'll let you be the decider of what you think on this guacamole as you see the picture. Doesn't look like guacamole. And I decided to take one for the team and try to chip into it. And it didn't taste like guacamole either. So, I don't know what it was, but we decided to pass on that and pushed it to the side. And, okay. So, nachos weren't anything, they weren't fantastic, but they weren't bad. I mean, they were pretty good. Your typical nachos, ground beef, diced tomatoes, jalapenos, the cheese. It had a lot of olives on it. I'm not a big olive fan, but, I won't not order them on a deal because we were all sharing and whatnot. So, however, we got down towards the bottom and my daughter found a French fry. So having that little extra something in there kind of put her off on it altogether at that point. And she started heavily looking at her phone at reviews and whatnot, and then suddenly started shaking her head saying, we shouldn't be here. We really shouldn't be here. Now, like I said, I don't like looking at the reviews. I definitely, even after that, don't want to look at a review once I'm there, since we're still waiting for the rest of our food to come out. So, and we didn't want to say anything to the waitress. As you all know, you don't ever send your food back if you've known anybody in the restaurant business at all. Although we would like to think that people don't do this stuff, but when you've known people in the industry, you know that they don't like to have their food sent back, and sometimes they take revenge on you. So we waited. Our food came out. We all ordered burgers, and at that point is when I had informed the waitress that we found the fry in there, and that I was just kind of curious how a fry would get in with the nachos. Now, if there was anything that showed that these were homemade chips, I would believe her excuse. And she had it very quick. There was no thinking about it. The answer came rolling out like it was second nature. She said that they deep fry their chips, and that's how the fry would have gotten in there. Now, the fries weren't greasy at all. At all. Nothing even remotely close to making it seem as if these chips had been in a deep fryer. They weren't hot. They weren't greasy. There was nothing. They looked like they just came out of a bag of your normal round tortilla chips. So I don't know what to make of that. By all means, if anybody else out there has a suggestion of how they think the fry might have ended up getting in there that's plausible, then, I'll go with it. But it is what it is. It could have been worse. At least it was just a fry. So now we're moving on to the burgers. And my daughter had a mushroom Swiss burger. And she said it was good. It was okay. I think that's about all I was going to get out of her at this point, because of whatever it was that she saw online, just, I think, had her put off of the whole thing altogether. She also had onion rings with it, and the onion rings looked like they could have been a little bit overdone, but she said they were fine. She said they were good. Then my husband had a hickory burger, and his had barbecue sauce on it, hickory smoked bacon, and he chose to have tater tots with his. And the tater tots are fantastic. We all tried the tater tots. We all agreed those are probably the best tater tots we'd ever had. Then my burger, I wanted to try something a little different. It was actually very intriguing when I read about it. It's a taco burger, and it is taco meat that you would put in a taco, and it's held together with the cheese. And then it had a chipotle sauce and a coleslaw on top of it. Now, normally I would shy from that coleslaw on a burger. It just doesn't seem natural. This was actually very good, and it tasted like a taco. It smelled like a taco. The whole thing was just like a taco in between a bun. It could have used, as far as I'm concerned, it could have used a little bit more of the chipotle sauce. That would have made it a little bit more moist. But other than that, I mean, the flavor was great. I had regular fries with it, and the fries were fine too. You know, that was about it as far as our experience. We didn't stick around for dessert. They did have a few things on the dessert menu that I wouldn't have mind trying. And I don't know that I'd say that I wouldn't go back. I know that if I went back, it probably would be without my daughter, because from what she saw online, she's done. Now, I will say this. I'm not going to tell you what it was that was on there. However, it involved them having had a C grade. This was about a year ago. And one of the first things that I noticed when we were in the restaurant is it had an A grade. So whatever it was, you guys feel free to look it up yourself. They turned it around. It's not to say that they won't have a repeat. It's not to say that they will have a repeat. So, you know, as of right now, we didn't see anything that would prevent anybody from going. You know, the food that I had tasted fine, and the waitress was super nice. The atmosphere was good. They had the big screen TVs on there. You know, definitely a place to go for Sunday night football, Monday night football, whatever. You know, so by all means, you know, if you decide to go and give it a shot, please let me know. Leave some feedback for me. And I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. I appreciate the support more than you know. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share with some of your friends. And I hope to see you guys next week. And thanks again. Have a great one.